All right, so I just want to kind of document this and update those who are interested what is going on with my surgery and what is in the process right now. So with Kaiser, there's certain steps to follow, and you have a gender reassignment nurse who is the coordinator for all the surgeries. And when I got back, I contacted her regarding electrolysis. Now, Dr. Crane did tell me that he lets the guys decide what they want to do. It all depends on how much time a person has, and but in the end, electrolysis is a guaranteed no hair growth on the phallus. So anyway, so I got back and contacted her, letting her know that I was advised to start electrolysis. I contacted her the day after I got back. So that was the 25th, and I just now heard from her and said, "Oh, I've put the referral in." Now, one thing I know about transitioning for me is that I can be a little impatient. And it's not that I'm an impatient person, because anyone will tell you I'm pretty patient. But I think it's just all about the process, all about becoming your authentic self. So I was a little, how would you say it, frustrated. But I did not contact her. I didn't bug her. But I finally got, and I haven't heard anything since, so I'm probably going to drop a little email and just say, just would like to know the status, haven't heard anything, so forth. Another thing is that I got a call from Katrina last week. Now, I'm sorry I haven't updated, but I've been going through a little dip on my journey with my disability, so I'm not going to go into it. It's something I'll deal with, and I'm okay, but it's just put a dip in things. So anyway, I got a call from Katrina, and she started out the conversation by saying, well, the September date isn't really, I don't think you'll want it because I have August 12th to offer you. And so I took it. So my surgery date is Wednesday, August 12th of this year. Yeah, I was expecting a year out. But so also I mentioned that they want an x-ray of my left wrist. Well, it's actually an angiogram. And I went and saw my doctor, and I mentioned that. Well, he emailed me the end of last week and said that the vascular surgeon has asked him to refer me to the radiology group they contract with and have the radiologist do it. It's called an interventional procedure or something. So I got a call from the radiology group at the end of last week, and the radiologist is off on vacation or training or something this week, so it'll be next week that she'll schedule me. So it's actually an angiogram, which shoots dyes into the veins or the arteries in the veins, and they will be checking for circulation, how the blood's pumping. Again, I don't have any issues. I don't have cold hands, in fact my hands can be very warm, but we'll see. I'm not worried about that. Dr. Crane's not worried about that. I think if he was really worried about it, they would have said, let's kind of hold off on the surgery date. But then on the other hand, the surgery date's always so far off that if something happens, it has to be canceled. It's canceled. But, so that's what's really going on with the surgery right now. Just waiting for the referral to start electrolysis. Going to have the dye test done probably next week. They'll probably get me in next week. yeah, that's about it on the update on the surgery. How do I feel emotionally? I'm kind of numb. I go through little points where I start thinking about it and like start to get a little, like excited in a way that, wow, this is really happening, processing it, that all those years, knowing how you feel. And in the early 80s, when I first saw my transsexual film documentary, was when I was in my college class, human sexuality, and knowing I felt like that guy, but there's no way I could have went through the process at the time, both financially and emotionally, and just settling in life. And then all of a sudden another opportunity comes up in life, and things start happening to our society and the world, about there's another form of gender out there that people have struggled with for decades. And there are some communities or societies that recognize this. Some label it two-spirit, some, they call it something else. In this one community of people where if they don't have any daughters, they choose a son to become the daughter, and he's raised, being the female, and they don't, a lot of them don't have an issue with it because it's just the way their culture is. But anyway, so it's just the emotions are just overwhelming sometimes, because I'm thankful. I get to the point where I get really excited inside, and I just have to step back and say thank you. Thank you, God, for this opportunity, for my life. During those early years, being an adult and fitting into the working world and trying to be a productive human being. Hang on just a minute. Sorry about that. I never know if it's a doctor's office or not. So it's, starting out in the adult life, you just tend to settle, and you get frustrated, and when relationships are built on a person that you are inside, not necessarily the physical body, and then you lose those people because of society or what's taught in the church, those heartaches and those, well, that's what it is. It's heartaches. I mean, it's ripping your heart out, because I know, for one, the first relationship didn't end because of lack of love or the feelings have gone away. It dissolved because of status, because of what we're taught in the church, and there's no explanation for how the different person is. And there wasn't a label transgender back in those days. The only label that existed of people being different in that manner was transvestite and transsexual. So transsexual is really a harsh name. It's just kind of gives it a label without movement. It's like a body armor. It's like a big defense system. To where transgender is more soft. It's more flexible. But anyway. But so my emotions are just, I go through periods like that where I think about my younger days, and I really don't I remember the anger and the hurt, and a lot of it was the result of losing someone, not because we weren't right for each other or it wasn't working out. It was because of my gender identity and society. So now, and another thing what I do is I take my life and I can sit here and go, oh, but what if it was back then this would have, that's not what I try to do. You know, we've made decisions in our lives, some being good, some not being good for us. And you just have to accept the responsibility and be accountable for those decisions and then move on. And I think that's how, in my life, when I look back at, sometimes I felt failure, but it wasn't really because I failed personally. It was because society failed me and the church failed me. God's never failed me, but, you know, so I sum it up as I say with Tony, had I not gone through those things in the manner that I went through, I wouldn't have found her in the manner I found her. And I may not be right here today talking to you about all this. So I am very thankful for the course of events that happened in my life. I'm very thankful for the kind of person that has been created in me, that I've taken some real adverse situations and some real painful situations. I've gotten through them the best way I could, and then I've turned around and thought processed it in a manner that brought a positive outcome in my life. I've grown from them. You know, I don't sit and pity myself, and I don't sit and go, but I had this and I had, you know, that's just not me. So, yeah, I'm elated right now. I'm not a person that really can show excitement. I mean, like getting gifts and stuff, I always feel like shy and like people expect this big old response, and I'm just not one who really is real dramatic about things. But there's not a day that that goes by that I'm not appreciative and thankful for all that I have. I am truly blessed, and I know that. And it's because of my choices in life, my choices to take the bad and make some good out of it, or take the bad, process it, and don't make the same choices to have bad again in my life. So when I see young people, or I see even people my age, you know, basically got an attitude, they're blaming life for where they're at and stuff, you guys need to stop. If it's any of you, you really need to stop, because negativity welcomes negativity. There's no room for any positive, because your thought process is always negative. It's shaded in dark grays, and that tends to be a receptor to people that keep you at a distance. And really, when I meet people, and if they're always negative and there's nothing ever good that comes out of their mouth, I may be an acquaintance to them, but I don't allow them into my personal life. I just don't have the energy for that. I don't get it, because my own energy is not like that. So I do make a choice, you know. I don't turn people away unless they're really bad people, and I sense that. But again, I do keep people within arm's length of me if I don't feel they're a positive influence on my life. So this whole surgery thing is just overwhelming. It's just exciting. 5 months, 6 months, wow. And so we're already preparing. Once I get the report from that angiogram, I am going to go ahead and start looking at booking our stay. My mom and my sister are going to come up the day I'm discharged, and they're going to stay with me that period where I need caregivers. I've mentioned to them they can go back home after I get up and around, but they said they didn't want to leave me My both of them have neither been up north in this area we're going in California, so it'll be exciting for them. Tony will be coming up, on the weekends, and so I plan on getting a place where we'll all have some room. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. I'm excited and full of information. My head's kind of full, and I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'll update you as soon as, one thing about this documentation is about my own documentary on how I'm feeling at the time and what I'm going through. So I may make periodic little videos. Of course, I never make little videos, I always talk a lot. So anyway, you guys take it one day at a time and always make your journey as simple as possible. Take care.